She called herself Blowfly Girl, a woman who claimed her greatest pleasure was to feel life turning into rot. The early 2000s internet was full of ghosts. Static web pages, blinking cursors, lonely blogs where strangers poured their secrets into the void. Among them was a woman from Illinois, 20-something, quiet, invisible in real life, who went by the name Blowfly Girl. Her profile sounded more like a confession than a biography. Slowly destroying myself using my own sick perversions as a weapon. Descending into the little hell I've created for myself. Her posts were written like letters to nobody, half diary, half farewell. You could feel the exhaustion in every line, the kind that comes from someone who's already stopped expecting to be understood. And then one day she posted something she called her maggot story. It started behind a restaurant. Sunday mid-afternoon, warm enough that the air shimmered above the pavement. She said she felt drawn there, as if the smell itself was calling her. The dumpsters were hidden behind a wooden fence, baking in the sun, the air alive with the buzz of flies. She climbed inside. Plastic bags stuck to her skin. The heat pressed down and the scent was so strong it made her dizzy. Buried in the corner was a small bag she had left days before, something that used to be food, now soft, gray and crawling with life. She opened it slowly. What spilled out wasn't just decay, it was motion. A living tide that pulsed and shimmered in the light. For a moment she thought she might vomit. Instead she smiled. In her words, it wasn't disgust she felt, but connection. They were alive, feeding, changing, and for once I wanted to change with them. She reached toward the mass and pulled it close, closer than anyone ever should. For a long moment she just held it there, feeling its warmth crawl across her skin. I'm not sure I'm allowed to say what she did with it, but the warmth of it shocked her. She could sense movement, tiny, restless, unstoppable. She said it felt like surrender, like letting the world claim her from the inside out. When she finally left that alley, in her own words, she felt both sullied and purified, alive in a way she hadn't in years. Other girls have babies, she wrote, but I give birth to decay and corruption. By the next morning the feeling had turned. Her stomach ached, her skin flushed, her body fighting something it didn't understand. The scent she once loved now filled the air around her like poison. But even as her body began to break down, she couldn't let go of the feeling. She described it as a kind of devotion, trying to hold on to what she'd created inside herself. Every hour she grew sicker, but she still called it beautiful. She woke up days later in a hospital bed. The sickness had almost killed her. She described it as a punishment and a reward at the same time. Her parents didn't visit. Her doctor didn't ask questions. She had survived, but something had changed. In a later post, she would reveal a chilling diagnosis from her gynecologist. The damage from the incident was so severe that she would likely never be able to get pregnant. But while Deborah was recovering in sterile silence, her story was taking on a new life online. It had escaped the confines of her blog and was now being copied and pasted across the web. In May of 2007, it finally landed in the one place that would ensure its immortality: a random thread on 4chan's infamous board. Thousands of anonymous eyes were now reading her most private confession. The legend of Blowfly Girl was born, and it was about to become far more monstrous than the quiet, lonely woman who had written it. Years went by. Her sites vanished and reappeared under new names. Each new blog read a little sadder, a little smaller.
I'm working
at Target now, she wrote.
I'm trying to stay normal,
but the thoughts never stop coming. She wrote about losing jobs, about gaining weight, about sleeping through entire days. And yet, she never stopped returning to that moment behind the restaurant, not to relive it, but to remember what it felt like to feel anything that strongly. It's hard not to read her later posts as an apology to herself. She didn't hate who she was, she hated that she couldn't be anyone else. Then, in 2012, she resurfaced with a post that read,
It was early morning,
I was driving home from work, and I wanted to feel something again. She has found another place, a field with a deer long past its expiration date. This time she described it not as sinful desire, but as uncontrollable nostalgia that brought her to tears because she couldn't resist. She wanted to see if she could still feel that spark, the one that blurred pain and pleasure into something unholy. When she wrote about it afterward, her tone was calm. No guilt, no panic, just quiet acceptance.
Maybe I don't have to be dead inside all the time,
she said.
Maybe I'm just a depraved,
filthy pig. That was the last time she ever mentioned going back. In January 2017, she posted one final time.
I read through my whole blog today. I'm sad because it's been such a long time since I've done anything horrible worth writing about.
After that, nothing. No new posts. No replies. Just silence. Her blog is still there today, hidden beneath years of digital dust, like a diary someone forgot to burn. And her words? Still alive, crawling quietly through the memories of everyone who's ever had the displeasure to read them.